दूर जाके भी मुझसे तुम मेरी यादों में रहना. Okay, I think my sinus is clear now. Well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be doing the last series of Rahu, which is Rahu in the sign of Pisces. It's the dawn of the dead today. And yeah, I used that song to clear my sinuses. So, Rahu in the sign of Pisces. What happens when Rahu is in the sign of Pisces in your horoscope? Well, what is the sign of Pisces? Pisces is the 12th sign of zodiac, which represents asylum, isolated places, sanctuaries, monasteries. It represents a jail cell, foreign lands, foreign country, anywhere that you're out of your element. That's the way I personally signify 12th house. 12th house puts you out of your element. And that's where you suddenly start to ask questions that you have never asked before, like philosophical questions. What is God? Who is God? What is existence? Okay, this is 12th house stuff. So you put Rahu here. We know what Rahu is by now. Rahu is that obsessive energy that is here for us to accomplish a certain goal, that strives us to accomplish a certain goal. It wants the material gain out of those things. It wants the material wealth. It wants the prize of whatever it does. Anything Rahu does, he wants a prize out of it. But in the sign of Pisces, again, any planet, including Rahu, is out of element. So Rahu in the sign of Pisces is suddenly out of element. He is confused. Again, not only this is a water sign, this is the deepest water. And so Rahu here is questioning now. What the hell is this? What was I actually striving for in the last 11 signs? What is this existence? Why am I just the head and not the body? Why do I keep indulging things? So Rahu is put out of his element here. And this is where Rahu starts to kind of like transform himself into a deity instead of a demon. Rahu here, Rahu has his nature. Every planet has his personality and nature. So once Rahu is out of element and he doesn't know exactly what he's about, then his obsession becomes about, what the hell is this? Who am I? And Rahu then strives to answer those questions. So here, the energy of Rahu then starts to maneuver towards isolated places. He wants to meditate. Rahu here wants to go to foreign lands, explore spirituality, explore the question of thyself. And here Rahu's energy, and not only Rahu's energy, Jupiter's energy are amplified. What you guys ask me, what do you keep saying that Rahu amplifies the energy of itself and the planet? Well, these are the teachings of my guru Sam Jappi that you're gonna learn from this weekend on how to study your D9 and D10 chart. Majority of this has been learned through him. He's a brilliant, genius guy. This is why I love having him. Because Rahu transformed himself into the planet of the sign of the planet that he's sitting in. And so he gives that double effect. And Rahu has that energy where he amplifies the quality of the planet as well. And Rahu is known to be a magician. Rahu is known to be a bit different, unusual. So in the 12th house of the other realm, of that spiritual realm, Rahu suddenly gains the power of being a psychic. These people, especially if Rahu is in Pisces in the 12th house, these people have some of the most powerful psychic abilities possible. Some of the most forthcoming intuitions possible. Like these, and Pisces is a sign of imagination. Pisces is the sign of, going into other realms and extracting creative information through it. Just like Einstein, how his work was driven by creativity. Like he used to imagine this clock suddenly turning and slowly ticking while he was taking a bus. That's what happens. So Rahu here, he obviously amplifies this stuff. So Rahu here it gives you not only psychic ability but tremendous imagination. You suddenly become this beacon of spirituality, because remember, Rahu wants to dive into things. So once he's out of his element and he wants to know what the hell is this, how come I'm not going for worldly desires anymore, he wanted to explore his thing because that's his nature. So here Rahu, these people like will make some of the best sci-fi science fiction writers, because Rahu is about the unusual sci-fi things, because Rahu is a scientist. He thinks about foreign things. He thinks about exotic, unusual things. So kind of like somebody writing like Kyrux, or somebody writing like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. These kind of stories are driven by Rahu or the 12th house. Always in sci-fi and fantasy writers, 12th house always has been present. Like J.K. Rowling has Mercury, Moon, and Venus in the 12th house in Leo. So here Rahu is absolutely magnifying imagination and magnifying the imaginative ability and transforming you into something quite unusual. So people with Rahu and Pisces, I would say these folks will do a lot better, first of all, working by themselves, working in a field that requires them to think, that requires them to tap into their imagination. And most of the time, the best placement for this is to be going into spirituality, like someone like Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra. Even though these guys don't have Rahu the 12th house, I'm telling you what Rahu desires here. Becoming a writer, these people are the one people who wants to sit in their den and think about things. So like philosopher can come out of this placement of Rahu and Pisces. These people can become one of those public speakers who travel the world, who travel to different countries, spreading the word of the unknown, spreading the word of spirituality, not religion. 12th house has nothing to do with religion. Remember that. When we talk about spirituality, don't think Shiva or the sign of Om or Ganesha or Jesus or Buddha. No. 12th house, let's go of all that. It lets go of all of this stuff. Because 12th house is that darkness that was here before the Big Bang. That was here before the universe was formed. So here the true sense of spirituality comes into play. And Rahu, can't get enough of it. And these are the people who dive into things like tantric, who dive into things like kundalini meditation, who dive into things like, Reiki healing and pranic healing, and they want to help people. So I think that Rahu is here out of element because of the fact Rahu is no longer seeking material gains. He wants to seek the unknown. He wants to seek the zero-ness, that nothingness, which we consider the ultimate enlightenment. There's no heaven, there's no hell. It's just that zero quantity that I spoke to you about when I talked about what is God. So anything to do with spiritual realm, artistic realm, is where Rahu will benefit you the most. If you're in some corporation becoming a lawyer, you're always going to run towards Rahu and the Pisces type of things. You can find lawyers, you can find doctors, but ask those doctors, what would you do if you had your own choice? They'll be like, well, I'll be an artist. I'll be a writer. So this is what Rahu does in the sign of Pisces. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this was the Rahu and the Signs series. We're going to start with something new next week, because starting tomorrow all the way to the weekend, I'm bringing you the best of the Vedic astrology world, which are Vedic astrologer Dr. Dennis Harness from Sedona, Arizona, tomorrow at 11:30. And then I'm going to bring my Guru Sam Jappi again to talk to you about how to study a D9 and D10 chart. Something you guys have been pondering all this time and asking me every single day. You should see how many questions I receive on D9 chart. 200 questions a day on my videos on my website. So you guys will finally get this answer. I've made videos, but nobody can explain it like the master himself, Sam Jappi. So this weekend, It's gonna be, he's gonna be giving you 2 classes, 2 part classes. Otherwise, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Rahu is placed and where your other planets are placed, check out the link below. Check out my book, The Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you a link to look at your own chart. But make sure you follow the directions below. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll see you with the interview. Bye-bye.
What? You actually made it this far into the video? All the way to the end? Man, you must be crazy! Well, since you're already crazy enough to go this far, then might as well join the insanity by clicking that little button above where it says subscribe here. Or you can subscribe below by that little button that you see below the video. And like I told you, if you want to know where your planets are placed, where your conjunctions are, what aspects you're receiving, what planetary time period you're running through, check out this corner link below, okay? Read the directions there, because when you get the book, my Astrology at the Speed of Light book, and you follow the directions by sending me the email, I send you the link to look at your own chart so you can study everything about you. And if you want to read some more articles on astrology and every little details that I've written on my website, check out this corner link below. And this will take you to my website and to my article page where I've written tons of stuff, okay? Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with some more insane video. Bye-bye.